And happy Wine Wednesday, everybody. I am so glad to see you all. Oh, look at you all talking already in the chat. Did you guys beat me here? Did you guys beat me here? I think they beat me here. That's pretty impressive. Well, hi guys. I am so happy you are here. I'm so happy to be joined by my guest tonight. And it's Terrance Mulligan, the president of Napa Valley Community Foundation. Hi, Terrance. Welcome.
Hi, Maxwell. Thank you for having me.
You got it. And this is really neat because our viewers tonight, I know, how many of you guys actually donated to the Napa Valley Community Foundation when we did our fundraiser? What was that, a month or so ago? Is that a month or so ago?
5 or 6 weeks, maybe.
Yeah. So, we had our big fundraiser and we did the Disney cast member pantry and we did Napa Valley Community Foundation to help out with the fires. And you guys were amazing. And I'm just, it blew me away to see how incredible the response was. And yeah, they're here. Look at this. So you can't see the chat, but I'm going to let you know that. Let's see here. Let's see. Alexa, Dee Dee, Leilani, Tiffany, Mariah. Wow. Thanks, guys. Yes, you did. Miniature Missy, yes, you did donate. I remember that. Yes. She said, I think I did. I don't know. Jonelle did. Wow. So you got a lot of people that donated, and that's wonderful. So cheers. Let's cheers to that. Sound
Cheers.
Good? Let's do a little cheers. Thanks, Terrance. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I want to thank all your folks for stepping up the way that they did. It means a lot.
Yeah. So why don't we, before we get into, the Napa Valley Community Foundation, let's show off what we're drinking tonight. So let me show you guys what I've got over here. This is a really special one. And I picked this one because Newton did have damage from the fires. So I wanted to, pick a wine that was, special because of that. So this is Newton. This is the Puzzle. It's a really special wine. Mostly Cabernet Sauvignon. So let me see here. Actually, 72% Cab, 14% Cabernet Franc, 7% Merlot, 5 Petit Verdot, 2 Malbec. Cool. Okay. I have not tasted it yet, so I'm very excited to try this one. All right. So, what do you have over there?
What I have here is a beautiful Emblem Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa Valley from the Michael Mondavi family, which I think is a 20, need my reading glasses, 2015.
2015.
And I can't see the constituent blend, but I expect it to be delicious.
Oh yeah. So we're both drinking a little blend tonight. This is good. Okay. All right. Well, let's do it. Why don't we taste this?
I've done this before. Let me see.
Yeah, I think you've done this. Yeah. Cheers. Okay.
Cheers.
Ooh, yeah.
I like that.
Wow. Mine's a big wow. Okay. Wow. Oh, guys. This is one of those wines that when I poured it, I could tell I was going to love it. You know when you do that, when it's just popping out of the glass like that. Oh yeah. Wow. This is wild. This is I got like blackberry coffee, a little chocolate too. Yeah. What are you getting? Mm.
Hang on a second. I might need to try it again.
Yeah, it's allowed. That's what we do on this show.
What I'm appreciating about this glass of wine is that it has the kind of European restraint that my French wife would be into. Um, I think it's meant to be cellared, so it's not super, super fruity. It's kind of got a nice palate.
Yeah.
Definitely some dark berry notes in there.
Yeah.
Nice tannins in there.
Yep.
My kids have grown up in Napa, and it's all they know, have been doing what they call the Napa swirl, even with like their milk glasses for 12 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so cool. Wait, so the
You
kids
have to like do this routine, right? I don't know if you can see this in my.
Oh yeah.
This little number.
Oh yeah. We love it. So would that be like a normal thing for kids growing up in Napa? They're just used to seeing, their parents just doing this,
I think so. I mean, wine is such a part of the culture here that, before COVID, it was pretty routine practice to have a glass of wine with lunch if you're having a business lunch or something.
Sure.
Kind of European in that way.
Of course.
Yeah. So
that's why I love it. I mean, it is very European that way. And your wife is French. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
I love it. And we know, and we know the French make incredible wine.
They do okay.
Oh,
really do okay.
Yeah. Now, this is a great question. What does she prefer? French wine or Napa wine? This is like.
The truth is probably French, particularly when it comes to whites, meaning like for her, heaven is a perfectly balanced Chablis. And she doesn't like a lot of oak, though she loves Napa Sauvignon Blanc. We love Cliff Lady Sauvignon Blanc. We love Phelps Sauvignon Blanc. But if she drinks more whites than reds, and I think she's partial to that sort of less oaky kind of situation.
Okay. Now that makes a lot of sense. So like heaven for me, it would really be something like this.
Yeah.
This is it. This is, and speaking of, France, I feel like this is like a Bordeaux blend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's definitely, that's one of the things. I've basically had a wine education in the last year, because we've had so many wine experts on the show, and that's one of the things that I know now. Like, this is a Bordeaux blend.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wouldn't have been able to tell you that last year.
Sorry.
No.
I didn't.
I said I wouldn't have been able to tell you that last year. But it's been one of the really rewarding things of this year that I've been, like, I and all of you guys watching, we've all learned a ton about wine this year, and it's one of the really good things. So let me just check in on the chat here. So Alexa said wine Wednesday is one of the best things about 2020. Thanks, Alexa. And she said, come to Sonoma, we don't do a lot of oaked whites. Oh.
All right. Shout out to neighbors in Sonoma County.
Okay, look at that. Oh, this is funny. Teresa said her nieces do the Napa swirl too.
Oh, really? That's great. That's great.
I love that. That's really great. So, guys, before we get into talking more about the Napa Valley Community Foundation, I want to just pop in the link here to what I'm drinking, which is, let me pop it in right there. There it is. So that's the link for Newton Vineyard, and I would love for you guys to go check them out. They've been through a lot. With the fires, so go check them out. One of the best ways to support Napa is to buy the wine. And so you will be very happy if you buy this. Let me just tell you that. Wow. So I put in the website for you guys. So would I say the tasting notes in this wine are very Burgundian? Yeah. Yes, Maddie. Yes. That's right. I love it. Okay, cool. So there's the link to that. And so now I want to talk about what you've been doing since the fires happened. And again, thank you all that are watching now that donated and helped Napa. It's really, really amazing what you guys did. So what's going on now? The fires are obviously, they are contained. They're done.
Yeah.
So what's happening now?
Well, what's happening now is that we're moving from the kind of immediate relief phase to the try to recover and help people get back on their feet phase. In a nutshell, the foundation where I work is always committed to helping in all the stages after disaster. So there's the short-term bit. So in the months of August, September, and October, because our fires burn from October 17th until, August 17th, mid-August until well into October. Lots of people had evacuation orders, couldn't get to work, power was off. And so we were doing a brisk business and giving people gift cards to replace groceries and buy clothing and essentials for their kids. And we funded nonprofits to deliver services like counseling and providing temporary shelter and things. And now that we're out of that immediate part, we're offering cash assistance to two kinds of people who have been harmed by the fires. There's people in the workforce who have suffered economic damage. Think of a farm worker, and typically you'd be picking Cabernet in September, October, and because of smoke taint, which is affected by some estimates, maybe 10 to 20% of the grape crop in Napa, some fruit is still hanging on the vine and won't be picked. And so there's farm worker families who tend to live hand to mouth, who are facing real hardship. And so through different nonprofit partners in Napa, we're giving immediate cash assistance grants to those families. And then we're also helping people who lost their home, like people who lost their rental home or if they're a homeowner or a renter and they're not gajillionaires, we can help them with money to replace essential contents or to try to put a little dent in the giant gap that they will face between what insurance is going to give them and what it really costs to rebuild a home here. So at the end, none of it is enough, even with all the support in the world. And I'm really grateful to your viewers for having chipped in, but we try to be discerning and get it to the people who have the biggest needs is really our approach.
Yeah, and that's what I loved, when we talked a few weeks ago, I loved hearing that from you, that you really do prioritize who needs it the most. And that's really wonderful. So is there like is there a number that how much you've raised?
Sure. So we were lucky to have some reserves in our disaster fund. And so we put in $4 million of our own money, and we've raised just shy of 3 million more. So we have, roughly speaking, what's that, $7-ish million, which, ain't nothing. It's not a bad place to start.
Right.
And, it's hard to say, would I rather have 10 million? Sure, I would. After the big fires we had here in 2017, over the course of a couple of years, we distributed about $10 million to address the same set of needs that came up 3 years ago. And, this is a very uncertain climate for people. And so it's hard to say how much more we might raise. It's pretty endemic that disasters capture people's heart and attention for a period of time. And then, other things come into the news. And so I don't think we're going to raise another $3 million, but we're putting to work what we do have.
Okay, that's great. Guys, if you want to check it out, I just put the link right there to Napa Valley Community Foundation. So if you are thinking about donating, this holiday season, here's a great place to do it. So the link is right there for you guys, because you're going to need more. You're going to need more money. I mean, so if you compare this one, Napa's been hit so hard with disasters.
Yeah.
earthquake in 2014, the fires in 2017, and now this year's fires. How can you compare what's been the similarities, what's been the differences in those disasters?
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like we've been to the school of hard knocks, in some way. We don't, there's been fires all over the state, but I would say with respect to what is similar, I've learned that it is always true that the most vulnerable residents of our community suffer the most when a disaster occurs. So there's this old saw about, natural disasters don't discriminate. It's like, yeah, absolutely. You might lose a $3 million home, you might lose a manufactured home in a trailer park. Both of those things were true with respect to the fires that we just had. But the moment the flames are extinguished, what is revealed is that the inequities that exist in our society before a disaster are amplified in the way that some families have resources, savings to bring to bear to their recovery. Some have insurance, some have really good insurance, the kind that comes with a private fire brigade. Some have no insurance. Some people get access to government relief programs like FEMA grants and SBA loans. But if you're an undocumented head of household, you get access to none of that, for example. So we always try to get our dollars to the people who would otherwise fall through the gaps, because we've learned that while disasters don't discriminate, recovery kind of does discriminate. And it kind of is what it is. With regard to what's different, so the earthquake, I was here. It shook me out of bed at 3 a.m. and I remember it because I'm a native Californian, and I was at college at UC Berkeley during the last big one in 1989, and that got my attention. Like, that was memorable. And the one in Napa, owing to its proximity, it was literally like 2 miles from my house. It felt like a monster. I mean, I don't want to overdo it here. Maybe it's because I had kids, I still have children, but anyway, it was terrifying, just the degree of shaking. And what's different about an earthquake and a fire is that nobody has earthquake insurance, but most people who have a home have fire insurance. And so when you think about, okay, well, how do we spend the money that your viewers have so kindly given to us? You think, well, there's different kinds of resources available to people. There's, savings, insurance, there's all these things. So in the earthquake, most people didn't have quake insurance, but, and I'll close with this, the earthquake was a story generally of fairly moderate losses, very widely distributed. So in the city of Napa, which has 20,000 housing units or so, maybe 3,000 people had their unreinforced masonry chimney come down. It's a problem, but it's like a $7,500 problem.
Right.
Whereas in a fire, it's like, I had a house, now I have no house.
It's gone.
It's very binary, very profound, sort of thing. And you have a much bigger number to kind of come up with.
I mean, yeah, that's right. Okay. So those are the big differences. Okay. It's and you're in charge of coordinating all of this.
Well, I'm in charge of coordinating a piece of it, which is, okay, what do we do with other people's generous donations to help? Lucky for me, I'm not the person who is providing mental health counseling to people who've been traumatized, or medical care to people who've been injured, or any of the rest of the direct service nonprofits for whom I have a world of admiration. We are a funder. We're a foundation that moves money and ideas around to help solve problems in our community. And I feel like we have, honestly, the luxury of perspective, because we're at a little bit of a distance from the urgency of the day to day, which can be so emotionally difficult for people, just helping other people at a time of great stress. But I'll tell you, the nonprofits that we give money to do a beautiful job with that.
Right. So you get the money, they get spread out over various nonprofits, and they take care of it from there.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And what I would say as a footnote to that is that cash assistance is always paramount after disaster, because when a donor sends a check our way, it's I think they have in mind that we're trying to help these people directly.
Yep.
And so in in giving away what is now $25 million of disaster aid over the last 6 or 7 years, probably 85% of it is in the form of direct assistance to people who've been harmed to help fill those gaps. But really importantly, cash assistance can't stand alone, because I've met with people who, until they got counseling to deal with the trauma of barely escaping with their lives from a fire, couldn't have stepped forward to get the $2,500 we were going to give them to help replace their household contents, right? So I think too often in our culture, we want to focus on the now and we want to focus only on cash, but the human services piece of this is really, really important. And so we believe in that too, and we also fund that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's really amazing. So I love this because it's so nice to actually, you know, when you donate to an organization, you're like, where is it going? I don't know. This is really incredible because, you know, for us, we're really, the transparency, you really see where it's going. So I really thank you, you know, for that. So really.
But you can see that it's not going into fancy office furniture, okay? So you can rest assured that we are good stewards of the monies given to us.
I don't know. I see. I think your backdrop's pretty cool. I don't even have a wall that has any color on it in my place. So you're already winning. You have a wall with color, and then you have a textured wall too.
That's right. That is, I guess those are bricks. I'm no expert, but I think that's what they are.
I don't have any of that. That you're doing very well with your backdrops. I mean, really. So don't worry. I just got to tell you, Terrance. I'm just reading over some comments, and I'm sure you'd like to hear some.
Sure.
Because they're really
only if they're positive, please.
Yeah. So Maddie just left Sonoma and Napa. She said it was really heartbreaking being shown the areas that were destroyed by the fires and seeing the effects on the community and the vineyards. Yeah. Alexa, people who escaped a few years ago and were like, oh, glad I escaped in the last year. So they're really going through depression about it now. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Miniature Missy said, God bless you, Terrance, and your mindfulness and conscientious stewardship of your business. We need to see more of this. I'm truly touched by this.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot.
That's really nice. Wow. Wow. Kit Kat, that's great. The foundation looks at all aspects of people's needs. Yes. Yep. So this is really neat. You know, the Cheesy Pop community really thanks you. That's really.
Well, I hope you'll all come visit one day when we can get back to visiting. I never go anywhere. That's part of my job description. So I have to just remain in Napa County. I'm like those shopping carts that you try to take out of Safeway. It's like, I can't really leave here. So I rely on all of you to come.
Right. And I know a few of you guys have actually been there, which is wonderful. I would love to get up there. Love to get up there. You know, it's crazy because you know, Napa just joined the purple tier again.
Yep.
You know, we in LA, we've been in the purple tier with COVID basically the entire time, but now, you know, most of California is in the most restricted tiers. So, you know, everything is now indoor dining is closed. The wine tasting indoors is closed. So everything is just kind of back to outdoors again. It's so, and that's the thing too with Napa, they're dealing with COVID and fires in 1 year. It's just been too much, right? I mean,
for sure. I mean, so much of our economy is about viticulture and about hospitality, and we love having people come. And we're, you know, I think we have a richly deserved reputation for taking great care of people when they do come. And you know, all that's lovely, except when you have a global pandemic, which is, you know, problem.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get this under control one day.
Mm.
Maybe things will be getting better soon, hopefully. A couple months. Uh, yeah. Do you guys have any questions for Terrance? Leave them in the chat. Leave them in the chat so we can get some questions for Terrance. Also, so with Napa Valley Community Foundation, you guys obviously do disaster relief, but besides that, when there aren't disasters, what else are you doing?
Well, thank you for the question. In a nutshell, our job is to try to tackle the most important challenges Napa Valley faces, working in partnership with local donors and nonprofits. And so because there's never enough time or never enough money to fix all the problems in the world, we tend to focus on things that are fairly urgent. So whether that's an external thing, like a disaster, or something that's more local, like helping people become United States citizens, which is a program that we started a couple years ago, because there's plenty of folks here who are eligible to become US citizens, but we discovered in a study that we did that very few people could afford the one immigration attorney that existed in Napa County at the time. So we started this program with a couple nonprofits that's now helped almost 1,600 people become US citizens in the last, I guess it's been 5 years, time goes by in a blur. So if you were reading my glossy materials that I promised to send you one day, we would describe that as our role is to champion community, to bring people together, to encourage civic conversation, to create opportunity for people. We also invest in youth. We are the largest purveyor of scholarships in Napa County. So I think last year we signed $300,000 worth of checks to promising high school graduates and kids who are transferring from our local JC to other colleges and universities in California. And so there's a couple things that we love to do, and we still find a way to do them even while we have, a big focus right now on disasters. That's a little more color on us.
Incredible, really incredible. That's okay. Well, everyone in the chat is loving this.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Wow, that's so cool. It's absolutely amazing. It's really amazing. Love it. Okay, so yes. No, you're crying. I know, Miniature Missy. This is oh man, I know. I really know. There are a couple questions for you.
Cool.
I don't know if you know this, but Shauna asked, are grapes going to be sweeter because they are on the vine longer this year?
Oh boy. Here I can get out of my depths pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I know this, having lived in Napa for 15 years. The more hang time that you have, the more sugar that you get, the higher bricks count that you
Right.
get. There's always a tussle between the growers and the vintners and the winemakers about when to pick stuff. I think what's happening is that certain grapes are being allowed to hang and won't be harvested at all because there's concern about smoke taint. That is not a global problem. I would say the people that I know that know a lot more than me are saying 70, 80% of the crop has come in. But there's some growers and vintners who are electing to leave stuff out there because it was, we had fire for 10 weeks.
Right.
And sometimes they'll test a bit, they'll do like a micro fermentation to kind of look at what the smoke problem or not problem may be. So I wouldn't say that wines will be sweeter in the 2020 vintages of Napa, because I think we brought in the stuff that we could when we could, and we're just leaving some that we're worried about.
Okay. There we go. So it's going to be really interesting to taste the 2020 stuff in a few years. Yeah, really interesting.
For sure.
There is another question. Alexa wanted to know, how did you get involved in the Napa Valley Community Foundation?
Well, Alexa, I'm glad that you asked. I've got a 17-minute story that I'm going to tell you now. But I'll give you the short version. I was working at a different community foundation in the Bay Area. And one day and I was happy as a clam, but then one day my telephone rang, and it was a person who was on the board of directors. Like any nonprofit, I work for a board of directors, right, that are all volunteers. and they were casting about in their own Rolodexes trying to find a new president and CEO of the then 10-year-old Napa Valley Community Foundation.
Mhm.
And so that's the sort of phone call you feel like, well, sure, what's to lose? I'm happy in my job. And, one thing led to another, and they kept interviewing me. And before long, I had this wonderful opportunity to move with my then fiance from the big city of San Francisco up to Napa Valley. My wife, as I was sharing with Maxwell before we all got together, is French. And I used to make this joke like that she was like Ava Gabor in Green Acres, because I took her from San Francisco up to Napa, and she's like, darling, I miss my city life. But the truth is there's so much great stuff to do in Napa, and we've made our life here. So that's the medium length version of my story.
Beautiful. So this is what you've been doing already. So you've been doing this. So this was in
2004.
2004.
Yeah.
And before that, you'd been doing basically the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing this sort of work, God help me, I guess that's 20 years, 16. Yeah, almost. And I mean, the truth is I grew up in the Sacramento suburbs, and my late father worked for Jerry Brown the first time Jerry Brown was governor in the 70s. And so I grew up around politics and policy. And I always had in mind that I would wind up working in government, but it was just like, I tried it. It was really slow and frankly kind of uninteresting because it's slow.
Right. Yeah.
What's beautiful about nonprofit world is that you can take risks and you can do things more quickly and you can experiment. And community foundations are an amazing place. Nobody grows up in this country knowing what, like if I say community foundation, you say, what? Right. And so the category is a bit of a mystery. There's 800 of us around the country in different places. And wow. I love that we're rooted in a particular place and that the idea is fundamentally very democratic. So in other words, you don't need to be Bill Gates to be thoughtful and have an impact with your money. You can be an ordinary person, but by pooling monies from the now probably 2,500 people, including your viewers who've sent in money for the fires, it's like we can point those resources at the problems that we face. Yeah,
exactly. I love this. My mom actually runs a nonprofit called Care to Knit. And awesome. So she collects all these donated knitted items, scarves, blankets, chemo caps. And so she's so busy this time of year because she's getting all the donations and sending it out. So this kind of stuff really speaks to me. So it's awesome. I mean, yeah, I really, really love this kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you. Really.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was awesome. I'm so happy you could join us. It was really nice. Guys, I want to put in the link one more time right there for the Napa Valley Community Foundation. I will still be hanging out, taking you through more tasting with my Newton wine, because I want to tell you guys a little bit more about this because I love it. But Terrance, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Maxwell. It's really a pleasure. Don't be a stranger.
I won't. I will be, whenever I get up there, I don't know when it's going to be, but like I have so many people to actually meet in person for the first time that I've been talking to for this year. So I can't wait to actually meet you and, have a glass with you.
That'd be fantastic. Lunch on me when you make it.
Hopefully. Oh man, I'm in, because that Napa food is the best.
It's pretty good up here. Thanks again.
Thanks, Terrance.
Take care.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Awesome. Awesome. What a guy. Guys, that is wonderful. And I just loved that. I really just loved that. When do you get the opportunity to actually talk to the head of the organization that you've donated to, right? I really, really loved that. That was really neat, really neat. So thank you guys again, you know, for all that you've done in helping, and you get to see actually where your donation went. That's awesome, really awesome. What a great organization, guys! What a great organization. So you know what I got to do? I really got to tell you more about this because it's amazing. And I picked this, as I told you guys, I picked this because Newton was really affected by the fires, and you know, I wanted to pick a wine tonight that had some meaning, and yeah, and this is really incredible, really incredible stuff. And hold on a second. I gotta, like I told you, this is a Bordeaux blend. Very, oh my gosh, wow. You know, when you talk about leather, you guys know when Vanessa has talked about leather. Yep, getting that here. Oaky, deep, just dark fruits. Just woo, man, my goodness, just beautiful. It's gorgeous. It really is a gorgeous wine. And actually, I was told, so Newton sent me a message actually on Instagram, and they're here. So I want to say hi to Newton. Hi guys. Hello, Newton. They are in the chat. So hello, Newton. Hello, Teresa, because you're from Newton. This is amazing. We love when this happens. Don't we love when this happens? It's so true, Dee Dee. My next Napa trip is going to be, maybe I will just go for a month. Why not, right? Maybe I will. Why not? So yeah, this is really neat because Newton's actually here. And if Teresa from Newton, if you're still here, I would love to know how you guys are doing. I would love to know how you guys are doing, you know, after the fires and everything. And if you could give us a little update on that, that would be amazing. If you're still here, Teresa. So I know she was here. I know she was talking before, which is great. So I know, isn't that great? We love it. We love when the winery joins the chat. We love that. So we love it. What are you all having this evening tonight, guys? It's true, Ryan. I'm gonna have so many wineries to go to. I'm just catching up. Ryan, you guys are having Three Valleys Zin blend. Nice, very nice, very nice. I had a Zin the other night from Baca, which I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed that. So, yeah. Hold on one second. Oh, sure, Jenna, you want to know about my mom's charity? I'll pop that link in for you, okay? It's called Care to Knit, and I'm gonna pop that in for you right here. So my mom accepts donations. So you can donate yarn, or you can actually knit something. And there's actually a chapter of Care to Knit in Napa, which is really neat. So there's that. So there's the link to Care to Knit. There you go. So cool. Teresa did check in, which is awesome. Maddie, you guys are having a Cab Franc from Shug. So I got a little Cab Franc in mine. the puzzle here. The puzzle has 14% Cab Franc. 14%. Is yours straight up Cab Franc? Tom, you're having some cheap red Spanish wine. I mean, I expect nothing less from you, buddy. Pinot Noir, Unruly for Shauna. All right, so there's your update from Teresa. This is great. So please come visit. We are rebuilding and we'll have a tasting room in Napa. That's wonderful. Okay, that's really good to hear. That's really good to hear. So you are, so Teresa, you guys are rebuilding. Great. How are you all? You're all safe. It's great to hear, though. Ryan, Ridge was one of the Californian wines of the Judgment of Paris in '76. That's so true. We had a Ridge, which was in my box with Wine Access that we did. They're amazing. Didi, your wine calendar is coming on Wednesday. Sweet. Yeah, and the bubbles for me. You know, Didi got me the. Didi sent me a little Venmo for the Bubbles Advent calendar, so I bought that. So that's coming. So the rebuilding will take some time. Luckily, our bottled wine was stored off-site. 2020 vintage is all gone. Okay. Whew. Gosh. You know, Teresa, my heart goes out to all of you. It's just unbelievable what's happened this year. I mean, obviously, as we heard from Terrance, but my heart goes out to you. Really. And like I was saying, guys, at the top of this, one of the best ways to support Napa is to just buy the wine. So I look at it as your money's going straight to a winery that, you know, is dealing with a lot of loss, and you are getting rewarded too, because you're getting incredible wine, right? Yeah. I mean, whew. You know, when you have a glass of wine and you take that first sip and you're like, oh, and then you take the second and third and you're like, and then that you also know in your head, you're like, oh, this wine's gonna be even better in like 40 minutes. So I'm hitting that time right now where it's opened up, and whoo, boy. I mean, Teresa, tell everyone at Newton, you guys make incredible wine. Really. Really. This is the it's really exceptional. So thank you. Wow. I love when wine gets better as you're having it. Like, don't you guys? What sip? Let me ask you guys something. What sip do you think is like peak in your bottle? Maybe I should ask. I mean, we have an expert here, Teresa. You know, because you get the first sip and you're like, oh yeah. But I think it always takes like 3 sips to really get to know that wine. You know. Good night, Janelle. You know what I mean? I do. In case you guys missed it, here is the website for Newton. Right there. There you go. Okay. So go check that out. Perfect. I know you guys were asking me. So there it is. By the way, the website's like gorgeous, right? Whoever designed that website. And there you go. Teresa said, I recommend you start with their unfiltered cab. It's amazing and lower price points. There you go. So Joyce, I know what Joyce, you said you found a $220 one. Okay, in Orlando. Yeah. So there are lower price points for sure. Yeah. Mike, whatever sip you have with steak. Oh, Mike, that's so true. This is one of those wines that this is one of those wines where a steak would be real nice. Oh yeah. Kick out when you sip it with food. Yep, exactly. A few sips in with good cheese, Shauna. Yes. Yes. Tom, it's great to be a collector of wine and liquor. It really is. All right, Maddie. I feel like over time, sip number pays off best. Like 10, 15 minutes in, I feel like, yeah. Yeah. Okay. See, I feel like it's it's when I think sip 28 excellent, right? See, I think it's when I'm about like a half hour in. It's like, whoa, yeah. That's what it is for me. See, Teresa said the last glass is always the best. Is that the last glass of a whole bottle, Teresa, or are we talking like your third of the night? You know, do I ever use a wine aerator, Mike? Sometimes. Good on young wines. Yeah. Good on young wines. So this is interesting, Rose. Has anyone ever judged a winery not only by their wines, but also their breadsticks? For reference, Silver Oak had the best breadsticks. I've never done that. I love this. So there you go, Teresa. Perfect. You guys got access to Newton's DMs right there. So you guys can slide on into Newton's DMs. Teresa will be happy to help you guys. I love it. Perfect. Perfect. That's great. I love that. Isn't it fun? We get little Newton joining in tonight, guys. It's pretty sweet. I love that. Really neat. So if you guys have any questions, great. That's perfect right there. How are we all doing? We doing good? Oh, Ryan uses a Venturi. Exactly. It's a great thing for young wines. Like I have one, but I honestly don't use it too much, but it definitely on the young wines, you can notice a difference if you do use that. Yeah. And see, Teresa said, no need to aerate or decant unless it's a very old vintage. My trick is opening the bottle an hour before serving. That makes a lot of sense to me because I opened this. Let's see, when did I open this? I opened it at about 5:40 and it's now 6:53. So it's kind of perfect now. Do you know what I mean? See, that's why I was saying when I was taking those sips earlier, see, this is really good, Teresa, because when I was taking the sips about 15 minutes ago, I was like, oh, this wine is hitting that sweet spot. There you go. Mm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. It's a beautiful wine. Really. So let's do that second glass then, shall we? Oh yeah, that's a beautiful wine. The puzzle. I got a question for you, Teresa. Why did you call this wine the puzzle? I would love to know that. Shauna says second glass is the best. Second glass is the best. Oh man, you know what's so cool about this? Let me tell you. The second glass smells so different than the first. Because all of those dark fruits are really opening up right now. I mean, that's just so neat. Woo, yeah. Hey, you know what's neat? I got like we do get those dark fruits, but I get a little baking spice also. So baking spices for sure. Yeah. Oh, my blood type is Cabernet Sauvignon, Leilani. Yeah. I was puzzling how good it is, Jenna said. Yeah, that's good. You guys are funny. I would imagine it's called puzzle because it's made up of a few pieces of the wine puzzle. Cabernet Sauvignon, Cab Franc, you know. Am I right with that? I would assume, since it's made up of, you know, obviously the big piece of the puzzle is the Cabernet Sauvignon. And then our smaller puzzle pieces are the Cab Franc, a little Merlot, a tiny bit of Petit Verdot, and then the teeniest amount of Malbec. That's the puzzle. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Putting together this puzzle has been one of the finer things I've done this year. What's for dinner, Max? Wine? Yeah, Dee Dee. I gotta figure that out still. I had such a busy day today because I went over to the Van Eaton Galleries to check out the new exhibit they have, which you'll see in a couple of days. I got to edit that video, but they have some really cool stuff. So that exhibit was amazing. And so they let me in there again to show you guys what they have at the gallery. So you'll see that in a couple days. So I don't even know. Today was crazy busy because I did a voiceover work in the morning, then I went there in the afternoon, then I came back here. So. Oh yeah, you know what? Miniature Missy's worried that I didn't eat. Michelle, I always eat. I'm very structured with my meals. So like I have plenty of options for dinner. I just don't know what it's going to be yet. I'm very structured. I ate breakfast. I ate a good lunch. I don't miss food. You know, I don't skip meals. I did go to the gallery. Yeah, they let me in there, and so it was really nice. So I got to explore that by myself again. I mean, with just, you know, there were only two other people in there, so they could explain to me what was going on. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Teresa came through. The puzzle was named by Peter Newton, the founder. There's two theories because of the original block that was used resembled a puzzle piece. So the original block where it was grown resembled a puzzle piece. Oh, that's cool. Or because every time the blend is being made is like solving a puzzle. Oh. Really cool. I love that. Thanks, Teresa. Two theories. Ooh, which one are we going with? So making this blend is like solving a puzzle. I could see that. How hard of a puzzle? How hard of a puzzle, Teresa? Are we talking like 1,000? Are we talking like a 2,000 piece puzzle? Like a really difficult puzzle? I would imagine that this is a really difficult puzzle to make. And the result is, you know, astoundingly good. I love that. Ryan, you're gonna get those Grand Californian chairs, right? Yeah, Maddie, you're having a lot of fun showing off your tasting knowledge. I love this. Isn't that that's great? Putting the education into actual practice. I love that. I love that. So cool. That's awesome. I mean, I love that. Maddie, were you at the tasting room? Were you all well, was this Maddie? Oh, I'm getting notes. Were you like instant? Were you that person at the tasting room, Maddie? If so, I'm so happy. Oh man. Oh, Ryan, no, drinking wine while you're shopping is perfect, I think. Or as you said, whilst shopping. I love it, you know. Oh man. Ah, Dee Dee, I saw that. Dee sent me a Venmo here for a Buena Vista Street treat donation. Thanks, Dee. Yes, I'm gonna go to Buena Vista Street. Do I know when yet? I don't. Maybe tomorrow? Maybe not. I honestly haven't decided. So, but I will be going. If not in the next few days, I'll try to make it out next week for sure. But yeah. So thanks, Dee. Okay, let me see. Maddie, oh, it's chill up there. No one judges. It's true. No one's gonna judge you up there. Because, you know, I went up to Napa for the first time. I really knew nothing about wine. And they're not going to judge you at all. And you do learn a lot. Yeah. You do. So, Teresa, a 2020 size puzzle. Oh, wow. Okay, Teresa said a 2020 size puzzle. Ooh, that is a really, that is a rough puzzle, Teresa. If you could put together a 2020 size puzzle. Wow. Cheers to everyone at Newton for putting this puzzle together because it is delicious. Mm. Mm. That good. You guys are really funny, by the way. Oh, the British accent, right. I love this. Yes, Ryan in the chat here is from England, so he does say things like whilst. Yeah. But of course, Miniature Missy here says that she uses lift instead of elevator and car park. Really? Have you been to the UK? I feel like a 2020 puzzle would be missing 2 middle pieces that were just never produced just to hit that last nerve. Maddie. Nice. It's good. It's good. I love it. Get to the UK, Michelle, when we are able to do things like travel again. Oh, that'll be nice. Maybe in 2021 we can actually go travel to other countries. How about that? Look at this. Ryan and Rose have a mattress from the Grand Californian. You guys, are you serious? What how is that bed? I would assume a mattress from the Grand Californian's got to be high quality. Oh man. Well, now you got to go get those Grand Californian patio chairs. I love it. You guys are too funny. Really. All right, so incredible stuff from the Grand Californian. Incredible wine from Newton. That's what you got to do now. You got to try some Newton wine in the Grand Californian bed. Oh, then we're yeah. Yeah. Teresa, thank you so much for being here. Really, thank you so much. This was really a treat having you guys here for this. So cheers, Teresa. Happy Thanksgiving. All the best to everyone at Newton. Please say hello to everybody, and can't wait to visit you. Really, can't wait to visit you guys one day. Thanks, Teresa. Incredible. Incredible. Wow. How neat. This was a really cool show, guys, because we got obviously having Terrance on was wonderful. Got to learn about where how they're helping out Napa, and then we got to talk to Teresa from Newton and have her on, which was really cool. That was awesome. That was awesome. Dee Dee, what was this? Normal schedule next week? Yes, Dee Dee. Yes. Next week will be a normal, yeah, definitely. Yes. Oh, it's so true. But that's so crazy because I know you guys are talking about Jenny's ice cream in here. Jenny's did a collab with Shandon, which is so insane. I gotta get my hands on that. I have to. It's like on my list. I have like a to-do list in my email, and it keeps getting buried, but that is actually on my list. It's funny you said that, Teresa. Yeah. Man, gotta try that. Really cool. That'd be a fun Wine Wednesday right there. Yeah. Wow, this is yummy. Wow. So yeah, guys, before I head out of here, yeah, next week will be a normal week. I'll do trivia on Tuesday and another Wine Wednesday. Because I'm not going anywhere for Thanksgiving. So we'll be here. So yeah, we'll be here. It'll be normal. We'll just keep doing what we've always been doing for the last 33 weeks, right? Yeah. So yeah, next week will be another pretty normal week. Maybe when we get to Christmas time, maybe then I'll take a week off. You guys know me and my, I don't like to stop, but maybe Christmas time I'll take an actual week off. Maybe that'll happen. But yeah. I did go to Disneyland on Thanksgiving once. That was, what, 2 years ago? It was awesome. Yeah, that was fun. RJ and I had a great Thanksgiving at Disneyland. Yeah. But yeah, I think Christmas is the week we take off. Next week, no, there's just, I'm gonna be pretty normal around here. Just, 2020 kind of Thanksgiving. So all good. But yeah, there's your answer to that. And I know you guys are wondering if I'm going to Buena Vista Street. I think I will go, but I'm not. I just don't know what to expect, really. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just a weird thing, right? Who's going? Anyone going? Anyone going tomorrow? Anyone going this weekend? I will tell you, what I am doing this weekend is going to the Knott's Christmas food festival. So I'm doing that. So that'll be cool. So I'm definitely doing that. That's happening on Saturday. So that's neat. And I'll figure out Buena Vista Street maybe when I wake up tomorrow morning. I don't know. It's a tricky thing. Maddie, are you going? When are you going? Are you going Saturday? When are you going? Oh my gosh, really? That's awesome. All right. That is great. Looks like I'll be seeing Maddie. All right, Maddie and Cody, get ready for a socially distant greeting. That's awesome. Oh, man. Oh, man, that's pretty great. Oh, my gosh. That's crazy. All right, that's so neat. I can't wait for that. We'll make that happen. Get Maddie in the video. Okay. I love it. Maddie and Cody. All right. Dee Dee, you did not. You already sent me a Venmo, Dee Dee. Come on. Thank you. Dee Dee just sent me another Venmo and wrote Knots Christmas. Dee Dee. Thanks, Dee Dee. Cheers to Dee Dee. We're talking about Knots. We're talking about Knots. So I will be at Knots, and it seems like Maddie will be at Knots. Good night, Shauna. Yeah, that is on Saturday. Saturday, the 21st is the Knots day for me. And one of these days will be a Buena Vista Street day. I don't know. I'm so honestly, guys, here's what I'm afraid of with tomorrow is that people are going to be crazy with the crowds and I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow. I honestly don't know. So weird, right? But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm like, on one hand, yeah, I would like to be there because I get to go into California Adventure. And then on the other hand, I'm like, oh man, it just sounds stressful too. So we'll see what happens in the morning. I don't know. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I do want to go. I really do. I really do. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go eat some dinner. You guys are the best. I thank you for being here. I guess Maddie and Cody, I will see you on Saturday. It's awesome. Awesome. See you Saturday. Tiffany, thank you for the Venmo. Really, 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 really. Thank you, Tiffany. That is so sweet. Thanks. Really. You guys, what an amazing community we have here. Really. The nicest community on the internet. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Really. Thanks, guys. I will see you. I don't know. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe I won't see you tomorrow. But for sure, you'll get a video about the Van Eaton galleries on Friday, something like that. Okay. Good night, guys. Cheers. You're the best. Boom.